Hey, what's up, gang? Quest for 500 on the squat. Just wrapped up week 7. The iron was like 135 for 1. I'm sorry, 135 for 5, 225 for 5. Put my belt on for 275 for a triple. 325 for 1. Then I went 390. I think it was 390 or 395 with my belt and squat suit for 1. And then we did high box work. That was all low box work. High box work was 450. I'm sorry, 460 for 1. 460 for 1. 460 for 5 on the high box. And then belt, knee wraps, squat suit, lifting shoes. 415 for 5. And then finish off with 365 for 5 on the pause squats. 3-second pause. So the interesting stuff. So tonight I had my first miss. I missed on the 415 for 5, and everything looked great. Reps 1 through 3 looked phenomenal. Nothing was wrong with reps 1 through 3. I get to rep 4 and I go down, I never come back up. So the feedback I get from my coach, he's like, dude, reps 1 through 3, phenomenal. Nothing wrong with them. You look very strong. You go down for rep 4, something happened. There was a gap between rep 3 and rep 4 where something happens where it's like you lose focus and you can't stand up. And he said, typically when that happens, when you look that strong and then you go into that next rep and you don't power up and you have all this power for, not showing any signs of weakness for the first 3 reps, and you don't have the power on rep 4, you're losing focus. So we kind of clean everything up, re-rack everything. I go do my pause squats. I knock out my pause squats, 365 for 5, knock those out, no problem. I hit rep 5 with 365, and as soon as I rack it, I scream, boredom. He looks at me, he says, so you got bored? I was like, yeah, dude. I figured out. When I was down on the bottom on rep 3, and you was counting 3 seconds, I mentally was going through my head like, okay, I know I can get 3 reps. That's not a problem. Stood up with rep 3. I went down for rep 4, and I'm like, okay, I know I can handle this. This is bullshit. And I made it a dogfight to stand up for rep 4, went down for rep 5 on the pause squat, exploded right back up, after I held it for 3 seconds on the bottom. So it's just boredom. And I just started thinking, like, I get bored sometimes, like when I have to text the kids. I get bored with doing data entry for my own business sometimes. It's like I get bored. And I started thinking about all the other things, like where I get bored at. And the gift is, like, when I'm getting bored, I need to create a new finish line. I need to create a new finish line with what I'm doing, so that way boredom doesn't set in. All right, y'all. Be easy.